Good morning, DCVA, and those of you who are joining us in internet land. It is day 5 and our last day for our Read Across America celebration. I'm Carla Jefferson, principal of the Darlington County Virtual Academy. And as you can see, today is Hat Day. So we remember our challenge for today is to wear your favorite hat and take a picture of you reading in your favorite hat. Um, Don't forget that you can upload your pictures to the palette. Those of you who decide to join in with us on social media can post those images on social media as well. So let's take a look, a review from yesterday. So yesterday's focus was we're crazy about books. And here you see me in my crazy outfit. And we also have a submission from Kason with his crazy outfit reading sports books. And we know that sports books are Kason's favorite genre because he's already told us that earlier this week. And then Eli shared, he said he doesn't have a crazy outfit, but he shared one of his favorite books in the palette. So we encourage you, don't forget, teachers, make sure that scholars have access to the palette and that they upload their images for us to share. Today, we are very fortunate to have another guest reader with us who's going to close us out. Mr. Timothy Dargan is a town administrator for the town of Lamar. So let's give him a huge DCVA welcome as he joins us today. Good morning, Mr. Dargan.
Good morning, Ms. Jefferson. How you
I'm
doing?
doing well. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're going to close out Read 'em Across America Week with our scholars. And so we're so excited that you're here with us.
It's my
So
pleasure.
we always do a little mini interview with our guest readers just to so that our scholars and our staff and stakeholders can get to know a little bit more about the person who has graciously agreed to join us. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, as you already mentioned, I'm the town administrator for the town of Lamar. I've been in that position basically for 2 years. Also, I'm a deacon at Bethany Baptist Church. Been there for many, many years. I've been a deacon for about 20 years. I have 4 kids and I have 8 grandkids. I love Lamar and I love being a part of the Lamar community.
Thank you. And so we, as you know, we have scholars from all across Darlington County. So we got some Lamar babies mixed in with us too. So thank you again for joining us and representing the Lamar area.
You're welcome.
So we always also like we know that depending on kids and where they are, like everyone has a different journey to like reading and when they kind of when it clicks for them that reading is very beneficial. So would you share with us your journey to reading? Was it right away? Did it take longer? We even had someone share that they started and then they kind of lost their way and they had to find their way back. So what's your journey?
I've always loved reading. I remember when I was quite young going to Sunday school and the stories about David and Goliath and Samson and Joseph and his 11 brothers. They always fascinated me. I used to go to the library and read books, folklore and African folklore, those kind of stories. But I always like to read. I used to go to the doctor office and read magazines, read books. If I go even now, sometimes I find myself reading in the labels and just anything I get my hands on. I always felt like reading kind of opened a door to another world. If you're having a bad day or things weren't going quite right, you can escape in the reading. So I just always love to read. It was my favorite subject, always English. I always got straight A's. My teacher would tell you that. Why? Because I love to read. And I tell you, as I got older, it didn't diminish them because you'll find out a lot of things you cannot do if you can't read and can't understand what people are talking about and trying to express to you. So I still love reading. I have that same zeal I always had.
Oh, that's great to hear. So thank you for sharing that with us. All right. So we also have some guest scholars who are going to join us. These are some of our superstar scholars, and they're here to provide an audience for you. And so we're going to ask them to join at this time. So today we have Naya who is joining us. Good morning, Naya. And we also have Brandon joining us today. Good morning, Brandon. So, although they're here in the broadcast with us, we also have our entire school that is watching from their teacher Zoom, and they're ready and eager to hear you share today.
Excuse me.
All right. So, what are we reading today?
Okay, the book I'm reading is called Family. It's by Isabel Monk, illustrated by Janice Lee Porter. And I chose that book because for me, family is everything. It's the key. And hopefully to you all who I'm reading to, family is very important. Not just family itself, but the tradition of family, how they can be a protector for you, they can be a support for you, they can be a leaning post. My family has been for me. So this was a perfect book for me to read.
Awesome. All right. We can't wait to hear.
And again, my book entitled Family. In a foreword, dear Hope, I can't wait to see you. Would like for you to bring the surprise you told me about to our family dinner. Love, Aunt Poogie. The drops of rain looked like falling stars as Mama, Papa, and I drove to Aunt Poogie's farm. We rolled down our windows and took in the sweet country air. The rain on the dusty road smelled so good. Smelled good enough to eat, Aunt Poogie would say. Aunt Poogie, I squealed as Papa stopped the car. I ran to her with hugs and kisses. Mama hugged her so long and so hard that Aunt Poogie began to rock her like a baby. Oh, Evie, Aunt Poogie said. Then she turned to Papa. Come on over here, David. Give me some sugar, she teased. She hugged him too. The days I spent with Aunt Poogie every summer are the only time I see all my cousins on Mama's side. They all live near Aunt Poogie. I live in the city about 5 hours north, excuse me. My surprise was in the back seat. I ran back to the car. I carried it inside and found Aunt Mill, Uncle Thomas, Michael, and Gregory. Michael plays the trumpet all the time. Gregory is wild. Aunt Poogie said that boy likes to stir things up. I carried my box into the kitchen. There were Aunt Frances and Uncle Sid unpacking the picnic basket they had brought. All their kids were helping. Jackie, Celestine, Bobby, Little Paul, Kay, and Vaughn. Kay handed Little Paul to Bobby. The back door opened. Uncle Tony walked in. He handed each of us a cabbage leaf, a nice green $1 bill. He was holding a catfish he had caught. It looked just like him. Gregory bounced into the kitchen. He looked inside my box. What's that? He asked. It's for dessert, I said. Pickles? He asked. Jackie and Kay looked at me. I just nodded. Yes. And Gregory said, that's different. But come to think of it, so are you. Well, what do you know, Gregory? Jackie asked. Gregory didn't even hear her. Come on, everybody, he shouted. We followed him outside. The rain had stopped. The thick, soft grass on the hill was my favorite color of green. Asparagus for my big box of crayons. Gregory always had us play school bus. He was the driver. When I started to climb on the bus, he said, hey, I thought city girls rode in taxis. But he let me on. Michael blew a blast on his trumpet. Gregory drove us to the pig pen. The piglets, Nicky and Nutson, kind of barked at us as we rolled by. At the chicken coop, we said hello to Henry, the rooster, and Eleanor, Viola, and Tiny, the hens. Gregory drove us past Aunt Tony's grilling the catfish. We got off and on the bus as Gregory drove us back down the lane. It's time to crank the ice cream, Aunt Poogie called. The school bus disappeared. We all raced to the big wraparound porch and took turns cranking the real vanilla ice cream. When we carried ice cream inside, I heard Mama say, this is enough food to last us a month. Everyone had brought their specialty. Aunt Poogie's hot homemade rolls under white tea towels. You didn't even have to chew them. They just melted in your mouth. Uncle Tony catfish was on a big platter. Aunt Frances had brought her family recipe, corn pudding. There were fresh greens, potato salad, sliced tomatoes, fresh corn cob, barbecue chicken, crab cakes, Aunt Poogie's family recipe lemonade. Everything except the crab in the crab cakes and the lemons in the lemonade came right here on Aunt Poogie's farm. You people look like you haven't had a decent meal since last August, said Aunt Poogie. Who's going to say the grace? Gregory said, I will. As we bow our heads, we heard him say, good greens, good meat. Good grief, let's eat. There were a few chuckles before Celestine said, but we continue to be blessed with good times, good food, and loving family. With that, everybody said, and amen. We ate, talked, and laughed a lot. When it was time for dessert, Mama brought out the homemade ice cream. Aunt Mill sliced the coconut cake. Aunt Pookie went back for my pickles. Hope brought a surprise, she announced. Everyone looked at the plate of big, bumpy green pickles. There was silence. My cousin Laura on my papa's side taught me how to make this, I said. Gregory picked up a pickle. He sniffed it. Go ahead, Gregory, Aunt Pookie told him. It's better than you think. Gregory took a big bite. Then he said, yum. Bombay into a pickle. Hey, she said, there's a peppermint sticking inside. Delicious. Everybody else started eating pickles too. After supper, the grown-ups cleaned up while my cousin played checkers and Crazy Eight. Aunt Pookie and I sat on the porch swing. I saw a bat fly across the buttery moon. A penny for your thoughts, Aunt Pookie cooed. Her voice was like a lullaby. Everything we ate tonight was a family recipe, I said. Yes, everything, Aunt Pookie said. Our family recipes now include Hope's peppermint pickles. I felt proud. We floated on the porch swing, listening to the crickets and frogs. Sharing food is a good way of sharing family, Aunt Pookie said. Always add a cup of tradition from your papa's side to a cup from your mama's side. She nuzzled my neck. The nuzzle made me giggle. You forgot one thing, Aunt Pookie, I said. What's that, baby? She asked. Add lots and lots of love. Sound like a good recipe, Aunt Pookie laughed. It's a recipe for family, I said. For mine. Thus ends the reading of the book entitled Family.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Dargan. So I don't know about you all, but I'm hungry now after hearing all that good food that was
Yes.
in that book. And I agree. I'm sure all of us have so many wonderful memories with our family. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to ask our scholars, those that are on the Zoom, on the broadcast, and those that are on Zoom with their teachers, share one memorable event that you've had with your family. And I'll start while Brandon and Naya are thinking about a favorite family memory that they have. So we haven't had one in a very long time, but what we have would have family reunions. I think COVID kind of stopped a lot of the gatherings, and so I'll never forget where I'm from, Bennettsville, South Carolina, and so that's the birthplace of my family as far back as we can track, and so in the 80s, we had a really huge family reunion where all of our family from all over came. Hundreds of people came and stayed, and we got a chance to like visit the areas where like my great grandfather and grandmothers lived, like they call the homestead. We got a chance to visit like where the church used to be, the cemetery, and just spend a lot of time like just delving into our family history. And then of course, when that many people get together, you always have that good food. So one of my cousins makes barbecue pig feet. And that was the highlight of one of my experiences. Naya, Brandon, you want to share a memorable family experience for you?
When my whole family came down and we all spent like a couple days at Myrtle Beach.
That sounds really cool. All right, Brandon. Uh-oh, Brandon, I'm not sure if I can hear you. Oh, try it
Can
one
you
more
hear me?
time. Yes.
We went to the lake.
We went to the
Where did you go?
lake.
To the
Okay.
lake.
To the lake. I gotcha. Love it. And then we have a lot of responses in the chat. So Eli shares about going to Universal in Orlando. Okay, that's one of my favorite places. Because I love Harry Potter World, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. DJ talks about his memories with family and Thanksgiving. Oh, y'all are just giving all kind of memories. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, even more than Christmas. Jalea, Christmas party at her aunt's house. Elena went to the Civic Center with her family. We got a lot of Christmas memories here too, Mr. Dargan.
I see.
Radine, Jordan, Tristan enjoyed going to Orlando, Florida for his cousin's birthday, Thanksgiving, and playing video games. Oh, even our teachers are sharing Sunday dinners at her great grandma's house, going to Amish country with her grandparents. Thanksgiving at Disney World. That sounds like a lot of fun. Kaysen eating Thanksgiving dinner 2 years ago. Shania shares going to the beach with her family. They have some wonderful memories. Kavion went to Legoland. Miko says his family went to the Sky Zone, jumped on the trampoline, and played dodgeball. And Malcolm shared that his family went out to eat at his uncle's wedding, and all of his brothers came home. So those are some wonderful family memories to share. Mr. Dargan, do you have a favorite family memory you'd like to share with us?
We have a lot, but we actually get together most Friday nights, and at least once a month, we like to have like a dance contest. And I can tell you, my family tell you, I usually win. So the dancing contest.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
So that is awesome. Got a few more coming in. Miss Rogers shares her Christmas Eve service at her home church is a great family memory. Dylan, a big fun football game at a birthday party. And Austin shared his memories of being in the mountains with his family in North Carolina. So, Mr. Dargan, now, we get down here at DCVA, so we're going to have to invite you to our next school dance. You can come and show us your moves.
Okay, just let me know in advance. I had to be in a certain mood.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. Our scholars are going to say goodbye, and then you and I will close everything out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Naya and Brandon, for joining us. We'll see you soon. All right. So just one more reminder outside of I need to see some pictures with you and your favorite hats. We want to thank Mr. Dargan. So if you will drop your thank yous in the chat for Mr. Dargan for joining us today. Next week, remember, is in-person week. And so we have a service project that our Junior Beta Club is launching, and we need your support. So our Junior Beta Club is going to support the Darlington Humane Society. So we're asking you to join our Cause for Paws. We want you to bring in pet food supplies. And so you see the list here on the screen. We'll also share this with teachers so that they can share in their correspondence for next week, as well as the parent update that will go out. So we're looking for cat food, dog food, treats, all of those things to help support the Darlington Humane Society. All right. So take a screenshot for me right now so you'll have it in order to know what to bring in next week. All right. So we want to support our DCVA Junior Beta Club with their Cause for Pause. Again, we want to take the time to thank Mr. Dargan for joining us and reading to us and giving us some really neat, some time to really reflect on some really beautiful family moments with us. Mr. Dargan, we appreciate you. We hope you'll join us again for another initiative, and I will send you that invitation to our spring dance. So we can see
Looking
your
forward
dance.
to it.
Thank you so much
much
for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you.
And you all will see you. Have a great day. Have a great DCVA day. Bye.
Bye-bye.